Lamar says there's something about Kelly.
She has all these piercings.
And there's something else.
She's also bisexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But whatever it is, it made her blind date flip.
I finally got the nerve up to ask her to see her nipple ring.
Well, that's just wonderful.
Meanwhile, Lamar dated an old-fashioned girl.
Her ears are not even pierced.
But who's more likely to bring a woman home for the two of us?
Now, will these two let bygones be bygones?
I've been begging him to do that for months.
Or will they have a change of heart?
Change of heart. Now, today's couple met in the ladies' room at a bar. Yes, I said they met in the ladies' room. Hello? He said the line for the men's room was just a little too long. Well, his pickup line left her flushed with embarrassment, and now 5 months later, their relationship is in a stall. Please welcome Lamar Smith and Kelly O'Quinn. Welcome to the show. Lamar, from that introduction, I'd say you sound like the adventurous type. What about Kelly?
She's nuts.
Oh!
She's absolutely nuts. She's crazy. She has all these piercings and is not loath to show them. She will show them to anybody at any time.
Well, you know, I always figure if you're going to get pierced, you might as well be able to expose them.
Well, yeah. What happened was I went out of my car parallel parked and I said, wait right here. I'm going to go put some change in the meter. And I go down to put some change in the meter and I turn around and she's gone. And I walk down the street, and there she is in this tattoo piercing place with her shirt up going, hi, honey!
Well, Kelly, if he called you nuts, what one word would you use to describe him?
He's a wuss.
Wuss?
Okay, the only thing that makes him a man is the equipment he's got in his pants.
Hello? Explain that a little further, would you?
Well, I mean, he's just like a woman. He takes 3 hours to get ready. He's got designer clothes from end to end. He's got hair products all over the place. He's a woman.
She thinks I'm gay, but I'm not gay.
Okay. Kelly,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Kelly, you used to just a little more macho kind of guy that you date?
Exactly, yes.
Now, Lamar, what would you say that makes you and Kelly so different?
Well, I come from a really nice family and everything, and Kelly's a bit of an army brat, and she's not quite as well-bred as some.
Not well-bred?
I don't think she would fit in every single social circumstance.
Have you had experiences that way where it's been bad?
We haven't had an experience. We hadn't been willing to try it just yet.
Oh, I see. Now, Lamar, anything that specifically or some certain area that makes you nervous about her?
Well, besides the fact that she'll show all of her piercings to anybody at any time, she's also bisexual.
Okay, well, you're
one of two ways. Some guys would actually consider that a plus.
Well, it is a plus, but it does cause me some concern.
No, he's just afraid I'm going to leave him for a woman.
Yeah,
and that would be something that he couldn't compete against, so it leaves a guy feeling vulnerable.
Well,
Kelly, what about his breeding and his wealth? How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm just glad I don't have to put up with that because Mommy and Daddy just dangle his whole fortune over his head. You know, he's got to answer to them, and, you know, I'm free. I don't have to deal with that, you know?
Now, Kelly, in your opinion, do you think he's too free spending or not?
Well, he has got diarrhea of the wallet.
Really?
Yes, he has no problem going to a strip club, spending $100. He's a pimp daddy. They see him come in.
It's all about that.
Oh yeah, they see him coming a mile
doesn't
away.
make, though. If you have the money, then you can spend it, right? It's not like I'm not spending money I don't have. If I've got the money, I can spend it.
Why are you spending money on a girl who's not going to go home with you? She just wants your money.
Oh, she might. You never know.
Money.
That's why they call it adult entertainment.
Right.
Tell us, Lamar, what it is that you admire most about Kelly.
Well, Kelly's a very sweet girl. She's very independent. She doesn't need to be taken care of like a lot of girls do. And she actually is able to take care of all of her things and actually helps me out with a lot of things, too.
That's a good thing. And Kelly, I hope he shows how much he appreciates and cares for you.
Yes, he buys me flowers all the time, and he takes care of my dog. And I love my dog. And he doesn't even like my dog, but he's always...
the dog just fine.
He needs to love the dog.
She's a little obsessed on the dog, Chris. I will tell you that right now.
All right, so Kelly, there's some strong areas and there's obviously some weak areas in your relationship. Why come on the show now, though, and air it out?
Well, you know, we're from such different backgrounds that I figured, you know, I wasn't sure what kind of future we really had together, so I wanted to find out.
You figure by going on these dates, that's exactly what you find out. All right, next, we're going to find out if Kelly's date got more than just a little peek at her piercing, so stay tuned. Complaining that Kelly's shows off her very private piercings way too much. Well, Kelly went out with a guy who has a few of his own. He's a Latin lover, a stuntman, and a gymnast. Please welcome Carlos Ocasio. Kelly, what about Carlos when you met him? Did you consider him to be a wuss, like you said, Lamar?
Well, I was a little concerned at first because he told me he did work at a gay bar and he worked at Victoria's Secret twice a week. But when he showed up, he was not decked out in designer clothes, and so that made me really happy.
So that was a good thing for you, I guess. So, Carlos, I understand you also have some piercings. So is that one of the first things you guys did, compare your piercings?
Yes, right away we talked about our tongues, and I showed her mine. And I saw hers, and I liked it. And
So, yeah, there's his and there's hers. There, how cute, right? That's good, something in common.
yeah.
So what was the plan then, Carlos? Where was the date going to start?
We were gonna go hiking in the woods, and whatever, and just go, nature trail. But I was really excited, about looking at, seeing more of her piercings, her belly button. And during the drive, we stopped in this little mom and pop stores. We grabbed some oranges from the old man. We shared some. I opened some. I gave it to her, and she had some juice dripping down, and I licked it off my fingers.
A nice little drive, Kelly. Was that a nice moment for you?
It was great. And you know what I liked so much about that is that if that was Lamar, he would have been like, oh my God, we are so not stopping there.
All right, Kelly. Now, when he did the orange trick and you liked all of that, what about on the hike? Were you as impressed?
Yes. It was about 2.5 hours straight uphill. He did not even break a sweat. We got there. And we got up to the top, and there was this nice swimming hole, and he crawls up the side, jumps off a cliff. He does like this, Acapulco dive, and then, front flip off the front. I mean, it was kind of a show off.
I wanted to impress her.
All right, you're hot dogging him a little bit.
I had to.
Sure. All right, so you're showing off. What's she showing you?
Well, actually, we came across this guy, and we were talking about potty piercings, and he says to me, he wanted to see Kelly's. And I looked at her, and I kind of glanced. I smiled, it was okay. But she didn't. She didn't show anything off. We just walked away.
Now, see, Lamar, you say she's a total exhibitionist. Here, she held back. Does that surprise you?
Absolutely. Well, actually, I take that back. No, nothing Kelly does surprises me too much. She's always full of surprises.
So, Carlos, all right, let's go back to just the two of you. Did you ever get the nerve up to ask if you could see the rest of the piercings?
Actually, at my apartment, we had a bottle of wine in the patio. I reached over, I kissed her, and I just wanted to see what her tongues would feel like clicking. It felt like swords fighting.
Sword fighting.
And then I finally got the nerve up to ask her to see her nipple ring, just to see what she had, what it was.
Sure.
I showed him.
And you did. She didn't hesitate.
That was very nice.
That's what they're for. Why get pierced if you're not going to show
Kelly,
anybody?
was there some other conversation, or was there just kissing and...
Well, as he mentioned earlier, I am bisexual. So I asked for some advice on, how to use my tongue apparatus to the fullest capacity.
So Carlos is giving him advice. And Lamar, how do you feel about that? Here's Carlos giving her advice about how to, make out with other women.
Well, that's just wonderful, I think.
Lamar, you're a little too straight, I think.
Share the knowledge.
He's not insecure about it at all. He didn't skip a beat. He was open, honest about it. He even told me he's got some gadget he sticks on there to make it even better.
Really? Oh, attachments.
Just give her a few
Kelly,
helps.
if you had to say who's more your type, Lamar or Carlos, who would it be?
Well, Carlos is definitely more my type. We have a lot in common. and he speaks Spanish, and I just absolutely, whisper some Spanish in my ear, and I'm just.
Now, Carlos, while you're hanging out with her, was she letting you know that you were definitely more her type than Lamar?
Yeah, actually at the Mexican restaurant, we were, eating chips and salsa, and we were talking, and we started kissing again, so that kind of gave me a hint that we were an item.
Yeah,
somewhat.
definitely. I have subtle hints when you're making out. What about her talking about Lamar? Did she say anything about him?
Actually, she did. She said that he was too white and he had no fire.
Wait. Too white and had no fire.
Had no fire.
Okay. Kelly, any more of his Latin lover ways that were, he was showing you at the end of the date?
Well, he's a great kisser. We mugged down at the end of the date. And, I got to hear him speaking Spanish at the restaurant, and that was very definitely a turn on. I mean, it was a great date. I was very, very happy.
Kelly, any awkward moments while you guys were making out?
Well, you know, I kind of have big lips, and I was afraid I was suffocating him, you know, with my mouth, but he was like, no, do it again.
Actually, I was enjoying it. It was so great. I didn't want to stop, you know, and it was getting late. It was going great.
Now, Lamar, we're sitting here listening to the two of them being lip-locked and going on, and you're just kind of sitting there like, hey, you okay?
I'm great. I'm having a great time.
You don't seem to be reacting much,
I'm glad that their date went so well. I'm very happy for the both of them.
Isn't that sweet of you?
Thank you.
Very good. Kelly, it didn't seem like it was a very pricey date. Was it at least a lot of fun?
Oh, it was a blast. You know, you don't have to spend $200 at a nudie bar to have fun. You know,
Like
you can
Lamar would.
yes, you can go hiking. You know, take the dog to the park. That's, you know, spending time together. That's what it's about.
Now, Lamar, are you really that bad when you're at a strip club? Is it?
Oh, not always, but you know, if she's found someone that's a little more her taste, then that's wonderful.
Yeah, but I mean, why spend money at a strip bar when you can't take the girl home and do nothing with? When you can spend a little bit of money with Kelly, have a great time, go home with her, and have an even better night.
So, Carlos, just sum up the date for us then overall.
All I gotta say, la día fue muy tremenda y Kelly estaba tan caliente, más caliente que el sol.
Kelly's heart's pounding. Can somebody translate for us? Carlos?
Actually, we had a great time. Kelly was so hot that even it was hotter than the sun. She gave me sunburn.
Hotter than the sun. That's pretty impressive, I'll tell you that much. Now, how did Lamar's date show him that she's every man's fantasy? We're going to find that out next, so hang on. Kelly's date with Carlos, and now we're going to meet Lamar's date. Now, just to give you a little insight here, the couples, what they do is they actually fill out extensive paperwork to help us make a good match for them. And Lamar was very clear with what he wanted in a date. In fact, I have the sheet in front of you here, and I'm going to quote it right from the sheet we have for your date wish list. Question was, describe your ideal mate physically. Lamar's response, Barbie with a PhD. Next question, describe your ideal mate's personality. Your response, Barbie with a PhD. Third question, compare your ideal date to your current date. Response, more like Barbie with a PhD. Well, let's meet Lamar's date. All right, just kidding. Please welcome Christine Olsen. Hi, Christine. Welcome. And Lamar, close enough to Barbie with a PhD or not?
Absolutely. Christine is wonderful. She's a wonderful girl. She's smart. Let me tell you, she is every man's fantasy. I mean, look at her. She's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. She's brilliant. She's smart. She's wonderful. She's well-bred. She's wonderful.
Lamar, I hope the two of you had more than just plans of hanging out in the dream house.
Absolutely. We went out to an exclusive restaurant. Christine made all the arrangements. I mean, she knew just who to call. She got us on all those lists that you can't just get on unless you know all the right people to call. Christine made all the arrangements. It was a lovely dinner. We went out. We had drinks after that. It was fantastic. We didn't have to wait in line. We skip the line. She's a champ.
A bunch of money too.
We absolutely
So,
did.
Christine, I mean, you had some connections. You got into all the in spots. Did everything work out as far as you had planned?
You know, it was fine, except that Lamar was about a half an hour late.
Well, we heard he does a lot of primping.
I had to call the restaurant and beg them to hold the reservations because, I mean, it's very hard to get, get
If you're not there, right.
Right, and so, but he did bring me flowers and apologized.
Now, Kelly, Lamar says he's all well-mannered, but here he is showing up a half hour late for
Well,
the
I'm
date.
not surprised. I mean, it takes him 3 hours to get ready. He's worse than
Going out with a girl like this, you can't just show up haphazard. You have to look the part to go out with a girl as beautiful as this.
Now, Lamar, personally, I can't see any visible piercings on your date there. Did you notice any when you were out with her?
Absolutely not. Her ears are not even pierced.
I
think
see none there.
she was a picture of modesty. She was a complete lady at all times.
Now, Lamar, what about at dinner? Did Christine actually live up to that fantasy of yours that
Absolutely. She was, any red-blooded American male would certainly prefer a lovely lady like this speaking French rather than someone speaking German.
So, Kelly, wait, you speak German, Kelly?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Listen, how about saying something hot and sexy to Lamar in German? And everybody at home will be able to see what you're saying. We'll translate.
Du riechst wie ein Schwein.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you so much.
All right, how about you, Christine? Since you speak French, why don't you say something to him in French?
Ton ego est plus grand que le Tour Eiffel.
Really? All right, we'll give you the translations later, Lamar.
Good.
What about during dinner? Any recurring thoughts that you were having?
Well, you know, I read some research once that said American men think about sex about once every 3 seconds, but with Christine, it's more like once every second and a half.
You're just clicking along there, weren't you?
I mean, she is every man's fantasy. I mean, look at her. She's perfect. She's wonderful, and she's very sweet and lovable. She was demure. She was a perfect lady.
Do me a favor, though, Lamar. Compare their sexuality between Kelly and Christine.
Well, it's a very different sexuality. Christine's very sweet, very demure, and of course, Kelly's a little more brash, a little more in your face. Literally.
Okay, but who's more likely to bring a woman home for the two of us?
Now, Christine, we know what Lamar was thinking about every second and a half. What were you thinking about?
I was actually looking forward to dessert. They have some of the best desserts there, and he was trying to get me to eat the whole thing, so I had to spoon feed him a little bit of it, and then a little whipped cream, which I just kissed off his cheek there. So.
And Lamar, any other occasions or anything else happened that caused the two of you to get close?
Well, yes, we went over to a bar, and it was interesting. There was a pool at the bar, and so I was very concerned that we would fall into the bar. You know, we were trying to make the right impression on everybody.
Very crowded.
So she was on my arm, and she was very close, of course, and she just smelled wonderful, and she was just wonderful.
Just hanging on.
Oh, absolutely.
Christine, what about plans for afterwards, after the club?
Actually, Lamar and I wanted to go do salsa dancing.
What's the matter, Kelly?
I've been begging him to do that for months.
Well, he said he had never tried it, but I'm pretty decent at it, so I was looking forward to teaching him a few steps.
And Lamar, did you get those salsa lessons?
Oh, unfortunately not. She had some bad fish, and she was feeling a little sick to her stomach. We had to end the night early.
Oh, bad fish will do that every
Okay.
time. So, as far as romance was concerned, if she's not feeling good, I'm thinking that probably
she's
killed that.
sick, no, but I mean, Christine really exudes a sweetness. I mean, you really want to take care of her, you know. And she said she wasn't feeling well, and I got her some water, and I got her to her car, and
he was
a little
make
hug
sure
and a
everything
little
was-
kiss. But I just
yeah.
want to make sure that she was going to get where she needed to go, so she'd feel better.
So he's quite the gentleman. Now, Christine,
gentlemanly.
had you not gotten sick from the fish or whatever, how do you think the date might have ended?
Well, we were having so much fun. I think we would have been out all night, probably gone and had coffee at like 4 in the morning. It was great. We were having fun. So it
could have had a different ending. Yeah. All right. All right, when Lamar leaves today, will he be dancing the salsa with Christine or the Texas two-step with Kelly? We're going to find out next. Kelly, now they wound up here because they're from different sides of the tracks and the relationship has been heading uphill. Now they both had steamy dates who gave them what they were, they felt that they were missing. And now it's time for the moment of truth because we got to get your answers. Lamar, we're going to get your response first. We know you care about Kelly a lot here. That's obvious. You're also, though, concerned about the differences between your relationship that are causing some problems. So there you go with Christine, that Barbie doll with a PhD thing that you were looking for. You had a good time with her. It was cut short, though, because she got a little bit sick. But what's your decision?
Well, I went out with Christine. She's a wonderful girl. She hit all the high spots in town, all the best spots in town. But Carlos was right. Kelly does have fire. So my decision is to stay together.
Stay together. Christine, sorry things didn't work out for you. Kelly, let's get your decision now. Lamar says he wants to stay together. You have some strong feelings with him and some history. But there you were with Carlos. A guy, he took you hiking, a lot of action, some kissing at the end, all the piercings together and all that kind of stuff. What do you say?
Well, Carlos, I had a wonderful time, and you're very, very secure with yourself. But y'all don't know the potential that Lamar has. And I want to make him into that man that I know he can be. So I'm going to stay.
Stay together, she said. Carlos, sorry things didn't work out for you either.
That's okay, Chris.
Lamar, Kelly, maybe opposites do attract, and if you think you can turn them around, good luck with it.
Well, thank you.
All right, that's our show for today. Thanks to Carlos and Christine, and good luck to Lamar and Kelly. We'll see you next time on Change of Heart.